I would like to request Registrar Ma'am, Dr. Neha Pandey of Biyani Group of Colleges to please present a floral welcome to our guest, Mr. Aditya Sharma. We are excited to welcome someone who is passionate about improving job search and interview prep market that made him the co-founder of High Counselor in USA, where they connect the job seekers with the company insiders. His growing community of counselors and the job seekers. With these beautiful lines, I would like to request Mr. Aditya Sharma with a huge round of applause. Please welcome him.
So, as we are already in high energy mode, okay, so let me begin this session by asking you a very simple question, and this is a type of question that you have to answer immediately. For example, if your wife or if your girlfriend asks you if she has put on some weight, you have to immediately say no, right? If you start thinking about it, you'll be gone. So my question to you is, how many of you wake up every day with zero tension in mind about your career and future job search process? Zero tension. Very few of you. Okay? So thanks for being honest. So most of the people have this huge tension about where I'm going to land my job, how am I going to compete with my peers. And trust me, I was in the same shoes 7 years ago. In 2012, I completed my BTech, and I was in the same situation where I had a lot of stress about how am I going to land a very good job at my dream company, how am I going to answer my parents, my society, my friends, and your significant others. That's a very crucial part. And I have been through that tough journey of job search because definitely we live in a very competitive environment. We have a lot of competition around us, whether it was in 10th standard, 12th standard, IIT, AIEEE, or even for medical entrance. And the same situation is valid for job market as well. You guys are in college right now, probably in 1 or 2 years you will be looking for a job. And there is a lot of competition, and I face the same scenario. But the good part is that in few months, I understood the secret of job search. How you can navigate swiftly through this tiring process of job search and how you can win this job search market. Okay. So in last 7 years of my life, I learned 7 lessons. And I wish I knew these lessons earlier. I would have been even more successful. So I want to share these 7 lessons with you today, so that you don't have to pass through that same terrifying journey of job search, okay? And whatever I'm going to share with you today will be solely based on my practical experience. I am not going to share any bookish knowledge with you, okay? Because bookish knowledge doesn't help you in your real life, okay? You need to have a practical experience. And trust me, I'm not going to ask you to study even more, because I am sure your professors and your parents are doing that job really well. So, okay, there are a lot of other things that you need to do to win the job market. Okay, can you change the slide, please? So, agenda of today's session is, first of all, I'm going to unveil the secret of job search, how you can get best jobs in the market. And I'm not talking about jobs for some small IT firms based out of Jaipur or Delhi. I'm talking about the top technology firms based out of anywhere in the world, in India like Bangalore, Hyderabad, in United States, in Europe, in Australia, wherever you want to work. With this, after this session, you will be able to know how you have to approach it, okay? And the second thing is about techno management roles. As most of you have background in either science, commerce, or IT, there are techno management roles available that most of the students are not even aware of, okay? A lot of students reach out to me saying that, hey, I want a job and I'm really struggling for a job. How can I get that? And when I say, well, do you know about product analyst role? And they say no. So most of the people are not aware of techno management roles which are available at top companies. And the good thing is salary in techno management roles are even higher than technical roles salary. Okay? So you should know about it. Where are those jobs available so that you can target it by the time you graduate. Okay? And instead of not knowing about it, that's not a smart strategy. Yeah. So let me start with a brief introduction of myself. You need to know me, who I am, so that you will be able to relate my journey with your journey. So I started my career with BTech in NIT Jalandhar. Okay, I was like just you guys, studied a lot, and when I was in 12th standard, got into NIT Jalandhar. In NIT Jalandhar, I was not a very brilliant student. I was a very below average student. My GPA was 6.7 out of 10, which was quite low. My rank was about 46 in 67 students, and this is a true number. Okay, I'm not making it up. My professors revealed a rank in final year saying that, hey, you are at 46 rank. I was like, okay. And only first 20 and 30 students of the batch get placed in top companies. Rest all batches had to compromise with average jobs. So my first salary in Ericsson was about 4 or 4.5 lakh rupees per annum, and I had to compromise with that. After that, when I joined my job, I thought, okay, I have to move to the United States. I want to see how world works, how people from different companies or different countries work and achieve their goals. And I wanted to see that international exposure. So I decided, okay, let's go to the US, and I took GRE exam. At that time, I had to work hard, and I scored 323 out of 340. And my math score was 170 out of 170, which is 99.99% across the world. So my point here is that you don't need to be extraordinarily brilliant right from the very beginning. You don't need to be a 90% holder right from the very first day of your school. You can change your life, your career at any point in life. With 6.7 GPA, you cannot get into top universities, but with a good GRE score, with few other extra activities, with good experience, you can land. And then I got the offer from Duke University. Duke University is one of the top 7 universities in the world, right? So getting an offer from them was a result of good GRE score and few other activities. Yeah, next slide please. So when I landed in the US, my first exposure to competition was my class. My class had about 140 students from 21 different countries. There were people from Europe, there were people from South America, Latin America, Africa. There were a lot of people from India as well. And if you can identify me in this picture, no? So I'm from the 4th row from the top, and the very scared guy, because when I landed there, I was like, how am I going to compete with all these people? They were very smart. A lot of people had great background, very sound technologically expert background. And I was like, how am I going to compete with all of these people? It's really tough. I was not very social. I cannot sit in a group of 20 people and like impress all of them at first. So that was very tough for me. But then, can you move to the next slide? But ultimately, when my course finished after 10 months, I landed job at PricewaterhouseCoopers in Chicago. And PricewaterhouseCoopers, how many of you have heard about this company? No. So PricewaterhouseCoopers is the #2 technology consulting firm in the world with a revenue of over $20 billion per year. So I landed my job there, and after that I worked with Deloitte Consulting in San Francisco. Very beautiful city. All these technology giants like Google, LinkedIn, Facebook, all of them are in San Francisco. So I worked in this building of Deloitte, wonderful experience, and then I got to work with Google Mountain View office. Have you heard about Google Mountain View office? Yes. So the best thing about them that they provide a lot of perks to their employees, like free foods and everything, very luxury life. They pay very well, and most importantly, they allow you to work on very high impact technology projects that is used by millions and millions of people every year. But best part of my work was working at Fox Studios in Los Angeles, the rightmost building. आप में से किसी ने Die Hard movie देखी है? Die Hard? What is the similarity between Die Hard movie and this screen?
It was pictured in that building.
Perfect, yes. So Die Hard movie was shot in this building, and the name of the building in movie was?
Nakatomi Plaza.
Nakatomi Plaza, he's right. So when I went to this building as my first day of my job, and I was like, I've seen this building somewhere, and it was in Die Hard movie. The whole movie was shot in this building, and now they have changed this building to the headquarters of 20th Century Fox. which creates all these movies like Wolverine and like Badrinath Ki Dulhania. They all sponsor this. So best part of working in this building was that I got to meet a lot of Hollywood celebrities. They used to come here to meet producers and all of those people. Plus, I created one of the most technology advanced platform for Fox Studios, and it was named as Global Theatrical System. So this platform, Global Theatrical System, allows Fox Studios to release their movies worldwide in 160 countries. So whenever they had to release a movie like Logan or like Wolverine, now they use that platform and they release it in 160 countries at once. It was a very, very technologically advanced platform that we built in about 1.5 years. So the point here is, being a 6.7 GPA guy, not very intellectually smart, not the most social person, how was I able to land job in all these companies which recruit very, very few people across the world? I think from my batch, I was one of the 2 people who got selected in PwC, and then Deloitte and Google barely select 1 student from 1 university. So how did this happen? Can you make it to the next slide? So here comes my learning number 1. You are much better than you think you are. All of us think that, hey, I'm not good at this thing, I'm not good at that thing. But the most important thing is that you have to focus on your strengths. If you keep on focusing your weaknesses, you'll always lose. Because I don't know even a single person in this world who doesn't have a weakness. Okay? So identify your strengths. I identified that, okay, I'm not good in conversation when 20 people are around, but I'm very good in conversation when I talk one-on-one to someone. I'm very good at identifying good job opportunities, and I prepare for them really, really well. When I get an interview, I never fail. I prepare 200% for it. So I identified my strength, I forgot about my weaknesses, and that helped me appear like a tiger in all the interviews, and I cracked 9 jobs when I was in my final year at Duke. So you have to focus only on your strengths, forget about your weaknesses. Okay? Next slide. So the next part of my journey was when I landed at Duke, and I said, the first question I asked my career coordinator was, when do we have next first company visiting our campus so that I can get placed? Because I took a hefty education loan to go to the US. It was about $60,000. And my career coordinator said, oh, we don't have any companies visiting us. I said, like, you are in top 7 universities. How is it possible? There must be at least one company visiting us so that I can get a job. And they say, like, no, we don't have any companies visiting us. And at that time, I understood that in US, there is no concept of on-campus placement. On-campus placement जैसी कोई चीज़ ही नहीं होती है वहाँ पे. You are supposed to search your job by yourself. लेकिन इंडिया में हमारे यहाँ क्या होता है that we are hardwired that I'll go to college and it's a responsibility of college to help me land my job, which totally ruins our life. और ऐसा क्यों होता है? Suppose like I went to NIT, okay, and NIT helped me land a job at Ericsson with very low GPA too, okay. लेकिन आज की टेक्नोलॉजी वर्ल्ड में a person changes his or her job every 4.5 years. That means in our entire life we are going to change 11 jobs. तो अगर आपको आपका कॉलेज फर्स्ट जॉब दिला भी देता है, what are you going to do after 5 years or after 10 years when you have to change your job, right? So you need to know how to get a job. चाहे आप कॉलेज में हो, चाहे आपको 4 साल काम करते हो गया हो, you need to know that secret of job search without anyone's help. So that was not a very easy time for me, right? Initially I thought whether it's a good decision to come to the US or not, but finally I thought, okay, let's do this. And I came to know about a concept called networking. In US, everyone will teach you about networking, network. And I was like, what is this networking? And networking is connecting with people who can help you achieve your dreams. Okay? Next job. Next slide, please. So here comes my learning number 2. Land your dream job via networking. Okay? So I'm going to talk about networking now, and this is the most important concept in life, and I'm not sure क्यों हमारे colleges हमें networking करना नहीं सिखाते हैं. Ma'am, if you can include this in your curriculum. Every student, right from first semester to final semester, they should know the concept of networking. They should understand how to network with people across the world. They should understand the value of networking. Like after my 7 years of career building some of the most technologically advanced platform, अगर आज मुझसे पूछा जाए what is the most important skill you have, I'll say it's networking. I don't need to know like how to code in Python or like C++ or Java. It doesn't matter. There are thousands of people doing that. But networking is the most important skill you need to have. अगर आपके पास networking की skill है, you can beat anyone. Next slide please. So, as I said, networking का concept समझते हैं और उससे आप job search कैसे कर सकते हैं. So let's talk about traditional and old method of job search. So what is traditional and old method of job search? So in traditional method, you go to naukri.com, monster.com, you search for open job positions and whatever you come across, you just apply because you want to get a job. You don't think about anything else, you just apply. Or you sit in your college, bug your placement coordinator, right, or training and placement department, and you say, when am I going to get placed? When is first company coming to the college? And then, even if one company come to the college, you appear with 1,000 other students, and 5 students out of your batch get placed, and you just sit and wait. Also, in this process, you do not negotiate on salary. Whatever they are giving you, you are okay with that. This is traditional and old method of job search. Can you please change it? And it doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work. Please, next one. And if you follow this approach, you'll always be in this situation, looking for a job. And trust me, 99% of people follow this approach and they fail. And it doesn't work. Next slide, please. So here comes the modern job search approach. What is modern job search approach? So this is done via networking. This is done. I have learned this skill in the US in my last 7 years. How I landed my first job at PricewaterhouseCoopers, and then with Deloitte, then Google, then Fox Studios. So here is how it works. So networking के process में 3 steps होते हैं. The first one is you have to identify what you actually want to do. Okay? So suppose you are studying BCA or MCA. You have to ask few questions to yourself. What am I good at? What do I really enjoy doing? What are my skills? And what lifestyle do I want? Lifestyle is really, really important, right? Like whether you want to work from 8 to 8 in the night, or whether you want to work just 8 to 5, like how much you want to grow, whether you want to stay close to your home, or whether you want to travel across the world. It's very important to identify what type of career you need, okay? It will separate you from being a job beggar to a resource. जब आपको पता नहीं होता कि आपको actual में क्या चाहिए, then you act as a job beggar. I'm sorry to use that word, but this is the actual reality. You just go in any interview or to any company with beggar eyes, you say, give me whatever you have. But that shouldn't be the approach. Okay? So ask yourself these questions and you identify, okay, I'm doing BCA or MCA and I want to land a job of software engineer in only top 20 companies in the world who would provide me approximately this salary, these working hours. So you have your future vision clear to you. Then we come to the second step. Reach out to employees working at your targeted company. So now you have got your vision clear. You have to reach out to people who are working in, say, Google, Facebook, Uber, Amazon, if these are your targeted companies. Okay? Reach out to these people and build a genuine relationship with them. अब आप कहेंगे कि like I'm a BCA student from Biyani college, I don't have much to offer to someone who is a software engineer at Google, why would he or she talk to me? Let me tell you, when you land in professional world, right, you encounter a whole lot of different set of problems, issues, and all these senior professors, they must know, like We come across issues and problems in our life that we had never thought when we were in school, okay? And we come into a state of mind where we want to help people. Everyone who's working at good company is willing to help upcoming or budding engineers or professionals. All they want to see is your right passion, your right sincerity, and your energy. If you can show this to people who are working in these top companies, they will be more than willing to help you. They have helped me land my first job. So suppose you have identified your 10 targeted companies, you'll reach out to those people in different conferences, events, LinkedIn is there, or you can search them online on Facebook on different activities, okay? For that purpose, I've also started my company called High Counselor. We'll talk about that later. But you have to reach out to those people, right? In different ways. Let me tell you how I reached out to. So right now, I have started my company and I want to raise the next round of funding. We are raising about $10 million in the next few months. And I want to connect with VCs in San Francisco, but definitely they are difficult people to reach. They do not reply your emails. They do not reply to your LinkedIn connections. They do not reply to your Facebook request. So, कैसे reach out करें? I went to their office and I saw that those people coming out of their office at 5 p.m. and going into their car. I printed out a brief introduction about my company and I placed it on the windshield of their car. Okay? So at 5 p.m. when they came out, they said, oh, there's a company and this guy reached out to me in a different manner than 1,000 other people. Everyone is sending emails, right? Everyone is sending LinkedIn requests. But I placed it on their windshield and trust me, I got response from people who have invested more than $500 million in companies like Coursera, in companies like Udemy, Udacity, or Unacademy. Okay? Those people responded me saying that, hey, we want to meet you. You have to do the same thing. You don't have to put it in everyone's car, okay? But all I'm saying is, you have to think differently to reach out to people. It can be super weird. It can be super weird. But trust me, people will appreciate it. When you take some out-of-the-box approach, people will appreciate it. So first of all, try normal methods like LinkedIn, email. You can find email of the people. You can use High Counselor platform. You can use events and conferences. But if it doesn't work out, you can come up with a new strategy, how I can make my words reach to that person. If you reach out to 100 people, trust me, 5% of people would definitely respond. 5% of people would definitely respond. And then you have to tell them that, hey, I'm studying BC or MCA at Biyani College. I'm really passionate about getting into software engineering in Google. And I want to know what your daily life is, what are the challenges, what are the opportunities you face, and how can I prepare to become a Google software engineer. And they will tell you the actual path you need to take, the backdoor approach. For example, if one of you come to me today and probably we stay in touch for next 6 to 10 months, and then I can see that this person is really, really passionate about what he or she is saying, I can land you a job in Deloitte anytime. Because I have worked there, I know recruiters and HRs personally, I know how you can crack those interviews. Okay, then the same thing applies to any company. So reach out to people, build a genuine relationship with them, make one connection a month, just one connection. And at the end of the year, if you have 10 connections, आपको किसी on campus, off campus interview में बैठने की जरूरत नहीं है, ठीक है? सिर्फ वो 10 लोग आपको एक email डालने से कहीं पर भी job दिलवा देंगे, and I can guarantee that. Okay? And that's how the job search process works. So how many of you are you going to approach? So everyone is raising hand. Now let me tell you the bad part of it. Okay? So it sounds very easy, but the tough part of this thing is, can you change the slide, sir? So the tough part is people think, okay, I'll probably network next year when I'm in final year, okay? Or I'll probably network when I have a job. You have to start networking right away. You have to start networking right now, whether you're in first year, second year, or final year, because it takes almost 6 to 12 months to build a good relationship with someone, okay? So you have to start right away. And another tough part is that you are going to face a lot of rejections. Be ready for that. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने 30 लोगों को, 40 लोगों को या 100 लोगों को भेजा and they are going to respond you right away. And that's where 90% people fail. They reach out to 100 people and then they just leave it. Oh, it's not working for me. And trust me, a lot of people reached out to me and I explained this approach to them and they got back to me after a few months like, hey, it did not work for me. I said, how many requests or how many people that you actually connected with? They said, oh, I sent it to 30 people, 40 people. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to reach out to 10, 20 people every single day so that in a month you reach out to 500 people. Out of 500, if 10 of them respond, if out of that 10, if you make a good relationship with just one person, then you are going to be successful after 12 months. Okay, next slide please. So recently, my wife fought with me saying that, hey, you have been working, it's been 6 months, we have been to a vacation. I was like, okay, let's go to a vacation. And we went to Paris for a few days and we visited this Louvre Museum. Do you know what's the important thing about Louvre Museum? Anyone? No one? Have you heard about Mona Lisa painting? Yes? एक तो मुझे समझ में नहीं आता उस पेंटिंग में ऐसा क्या खास है, why it is worth multi-million dollars. But there must be something, right? Maybe artists understand that. So that painting is in this Louvre Museum. Okay, next slide please. So after watching that painting for a few minutes, and again I was in the same situation of confusion, why is that so important? Okay, we went to a nearby park and when we sat over there for a few minutes and there was a German tourist. This German tourist was feeding few birds over there. Okay, this picture shows only 5 or 7 birds, but there were about 20 birds around this area. Okay, and this German tourist was feeding all these birds, and most of the birds were just sitting at their place. They were just calmly waiting for food or grains to come their way. Whenever they got it, they were enjoying it, they were eating it. But out of those flock of birds, there was one bird. Can you see that the small bird near these wires? This small bird came out of that group and she asked for food very aggressively. She showed so much energy, so much diligence that initially this German tourist ignored this bird. And even we were sitting there, I was like, why is this bird so energetic and like getting in front of this tourist? They are feeding everyone. But after a few minutes, we noticed that this small bird caught attention of this German tourist and she got way more food than everyone else there. And that really touched me and I understood when you get out in front of opportunities, opportunities come to you. If you just sit at your place where you are, you may get a very limited number of options. And it applies to our job search process where we just stay in our college, we depend on our college authorities to bring in more and more companies. They come up with 2 lakh per annum of package and then you have to settle with it. You are not making any extra effort, any out of the box approach to get that extra food, extra attention. Okay? Be ready to face rejections, but trust me, if you make that continuous effort, there will be someone who's going to help you, and that's how networking works. Next slide, please. And here comes my learning number 4. Have patience. Job search through networking is a process where you receive no, 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 and ultimately you are going to receive yes. You have to survive during that phase of no. Okay? So मतलब पूरा बेशरम बन जाओ, ठीक है? मतलब जब तक आपको कोई एक ऐसा इंसान नहीं मिलता who is willing to help you, okay? And you just need one person in your targeted company and you'll land job. My first job, I reached out to so many people and they said like, no, we are busy, or like they did not respond. I felt embarrassed at the beginning. But then there was one guy, his name was Jeff Reisky. He was working at PwC as a manager and he responded to me. We connected on a phone. I told him that, hey, I'm interested in consulting. What do I need to do? And he connected me directly to the hiring manager. He literally made an email introduction saying, hey, this is Aditya. He's looking for a job. I think he'll be a very good fit. Can you please consider him for technology consulting roles? And I was interviewed for a position which was not even listed online. जो पोजीशन ऑनलाइन बाकी लोगों के लिए अवेलेबल भी नहीं थी, सिर्फ उस एक बंदे के इंट्रोडक्शन से I got that job. And it was a very, very good job, trust me. And it also reminded me one data. So 70% of jobs are filled through networking and referrals. आपको जो कैंपस प्लेसमेंट में जॉब आता है या आपको जो ऑनलाइन naukri.com पे जॉब दिखता है that counts just 30%. 70% jobs are not listed online. They are filled through referral and networking. And why so? So when I was with Deloitte or PwC, I helped 8 people land job there. और मैंने ऐसा क्यों किया? Definitely I wanted to help them. But another reason was, whenever I helped a person land a job at Deloitte, Deloitte used to give me 2 lakh rupees to help that person. Yes. Why? Because hiring and recruitment is an expensive process for companies. In the US, hiring one employee cost about $2,000 to $8,000, which is about 5 lakh rupees to hire one employee. And the same thing applies to India also. In India, companies have to spend between 25,000 rupees to 2 lakh rupees to hire one good candidate. So that's why they always rely on their internal referral and network, so that they have to pay just a 20% amount of, when they paid me 2 lakh rupees for that employee, they saved 3 lakh rupees, right? Out of that 5 lakh. So that's why they always preferred networking and referral. इसलिए नेटवर्किंग बहुत ज़रूरी है. किसी का अगर एक ईमेल इंट्रोडक्शन मिलता है, that guy is going to get a very good amount. That's why they are interested. Okay, so you don't have to think why this guy is going to help me. He's going to get a very good amount. Like 8 referrals, I got 16 lakh rupees, a new car. What else you need, right? And it's just an email introduction, and that is applicable everywhere. In India, employees get about 60 to 70,000 rupees for one referral, which is a very good amount here, right? Next slide, please. Common interview mistakes. So I don't want to spend a lot of time on this one because it's a big topic. It's a big topic, and we can spend over almost an hour on this. But still, I want to tell you about few things जो regularly गलती students करते ही रहते हैं, ठीक है? First thing is your resume. How many of you create 2-page resume? यहाँ लिखा हुआ इसलिए कोई नहीं बोलेगा, right? So most of the time when people reach out to me, a lot of students reach out to me, they say, oh, I need a job. I said, okay, send me your resume. And their resume is like 2 pages, 3 pages long, and they have mentioned all their family history, how's their father, mother, birthplace, wife name, everything. As an employer, I have no interest in that. I have no interest whether you are very good at volleyball, basketball, swimming. I don't care about that. I just care whether you can do that job really well or not. Okay? So, international standard format of a resume is 1 page for everyone, whether you are 5 years of experience, 10 years of experience. Especially for college graduates, it's 1 page resume. If you cannot fit in your information in 1 page, you cannot convince your clients. Okay, so that is the mentality. Twitter क्यों चलता है इतना? 140 characters of word limit, or I think 160, because you should be able to articulate your thoughts in as concise language as possible. It should be a 1-page resume. You should start every sentence with an action verb. Okay, people write, I have done software development for my cultural committee. Okay, so that doesn't start with an action verb. You have to use, you can search on Google what are action verbs, and then you can use it. Another thing is you have to quantify your impact. People write on their resume like, I worked for my cultural committee, but worked what? You need to quantify each and every line that you say. You need to identify, I worked for, like I led my cultural committee for this particular event which attracted 500 people and we generated $200 in revenue, whatever XYZ. So quantify everything. If you're not quantifying the impact of what you're writing, it doesn't make sense. People write, I developed software for this company. What type of software was that? How many people used it? Or if you worked on that software, did you make some innovation? Did you save any dollars amount or whatever thing, right? So quantify your work. Implement keyword, the most important one. You create, how many of you create one resume and use it everywhere? I can guarantee that 90% of students sitting in this room use one resume for every company, right? Because it's a lot of hard work and pain. You have to modify your resume for every single company, every single position. Because every company's culture, value, and their job requirements are different. Whether it's the same role, software engineering, you have to find keywords from that job position and fit in there. I've created a video on it, okay? It's a long video of like 20-30 minutes. I'll share it with you guys, and if you can go through it, you'll understand this process, how you need to modify your resume. And if you're going to use same resume over and over again, you're going to get rejected. Trust me. Okay, and the first point is, when I reviewed resume, right, for companies, we are strictly asked to review a resume in just 6 seconds. So in 6 seconds, if you can impress me, you're going to get the interview call. Otherwise, you'll be among 1,000 other candidates who get rejection. Okay. A few other things. People, when they go for interviews, they don't look at what company does, what are their values, culture, and everything. What's their future mission? They just go. Okay. They just go for an interview. Because of the lack of preparation, they lose it. The third point, which I have intentionally marked as bold, the reason is, I was talking to a few professors and I was like, how many skills, like, I won't talk about everyone else, but when I was in school, I studied 12 subjects. But unfortunately, I was not good at even one. Why? Because we're studying one, then another, in next semester, new 5 new subjects, then new 5 subjects. It doesn't work that way. You need to understand at least 1 or 2 skills very, very well. Because आप किसी भी कंपनी में जाएंगे तो आप एक काम करते हैं, उसमें सिर्फ 1 या 2 skills ही काम आती है. It doesn't matter कि आपको और 5 subject आते हैं या नहीं आते, but you need to thoroughly know at least 1 or 2 subjects that you can confidently say in any interview that, hey, I know about databases, ask me anything there. That shows that you can excel in one thing, but the problem with 90% student is they read everything superficially, but they are not confident about one thing. So if you come from BCA or MCA, you should have expertise in at least one language. It can be C++, Java, Python, R, anything, but one language should be super strong, and it applies to same science and commerce student as well. Okay, develop one rare skill which is not very, very common. Next slide, please. And this is a big topic. We can probably talk some other time, right, for detail on this thing. Techno management roles. How much time have we consumed? Sorry, I don't want to run over time. Okay, so we still have a little bit of time. Techno management roles. So most of the time people are just aware of basic jobs like, oh, I want to become software engineer, or I want to become mechanical engineer. But there are a lot of techno management roles that have cropped up in the last few years in big companies. And the reason is, all big companies want people with a little bit of technical knowledge and little bit of business knowledge who can handle their clients. And most of the students are not aware of these roles. And so this is a list of few roles like business analyst, product analyst, associate product manager, program manager. If you go online, search for these positions. Next slide, please. You will find lot of openings in these roles that you guys from BCA, MCA, MBA background fit into these. And you don't need to have a hardcore management degree for this. A little bit technical background, a little bit of management knowledge, and you can fit in there. Because as you can see, the requirements are that you need to have a little bit of technical acumen, business acumen, problem solving ability, okay? If you can make a good relationship with clients or colleagues, or if you have good communication and presentation skills. So apart from this first one, all other are just transferable functional skills that you gain from your projects at school, that you gain from extracurricular activities. You don't need a hardcore degree for that, but trust me, these 5 functional and transferable skills, these are the most valuable. They're even more valuable than technical skills. Because a guy who's technically strong, he can only code, but he may not be able to explain that code to client. That guy cannot be a bridge between the two, between business and technology. Okay, next slide, please. Companies for techno management role. So as I said, these positions are available in so many companies today and people are not aware of it. So you can look at all these, I've listed only top companies here in the world, okay? Like it's available in all product companies. Do you know about product companies, what product companies are? Anyone? Anyone know about what product company is? No one? So a product company is someone who creates product that is used by general consumer like you and me. For example, Uber. Uber is a product company. We use Uber every single day. Amazon, we use Amazon for shopping. Google, we use Google for search, right? So these are product companies. They create their own products. So you can go to all these product companies and you'll find a lot of business analysts in open position that fits you, okay? And you can apply to those positions. But don't apply, use networking method to get that job, okay? Another is consulting companies. Anyone know about consulting? Say it again.
Providing consultancy services.
Yes. So consulting companies do not create their own product. They create product for a third-party company, okay? So for example, Deloitte, PwC, I worked at both Deloitte and PwC. They never created their own product. They sent me to Fox Studios to create their global theatrical system platform. And then that platform stays with Fox Studios and then Deloitte worked for some other client, okay? These consulting companies requires a lot of people with techno management skills. Why? Because they need someone who can understand technology a little bit and who can interact with their client, because clients are not technical. Clients want to understand things in basic business language, okay? So I was in techno management role there, and the good part of techno management role is that your salary will be way higher than a technical guy, and in your future career promotions, you will be automatically considered for executive roles. And you won't be just a software developer sitting in a cubicle for all your life. Okay, next slide please. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit of my entrepreneurial journey, because entrepreneurship ka काफी craze hai. Anyone here who wants to start their own company, business? Few of them, okay. I think more people can try this, okay. So let's see. So this was my pick when I had my last day at Deloitte. So this was my last day when I decided to leave my job. And definitely it was a very good job, because when you work in consulting companies in the US, you get free flights, free hotels everywhere, free food in any luxury restaurants across the world, free cars, anything that you can think of. Definitely they don't give it to you for free, but they make you work for extra hours. But these are all perks, okay, that you get. Apart from that, my salary was about 1.25 crores per annum at that time. Not very far, just 4 months back. And when I decided, okay, I'll leave my job and let me start a company, a lot of people said, no, it's not a good idea, because all my friends, they work in the same companies and they were buying really fancy cars like Porsche, this and this. And definitely if I leave my job, I had to sell my car too. So it doesn't sound a very safe option to leave such a good job and then go into somewhere where you'll be spending a lot, not getting a salary for a very long time. But I decided, okay, let's try it now. It is the right time, okay? And another requirement to start a company in the US is either you need to have a green card or you need to have O1 visa in extraordinary category. Green card Indian को मिलने में 20 years लगते हैं, तब तक पता नहीं लाइफ में क्या होता. So दूसरा ऑप्शन ये होता है कि either you marry an American girl, but as previous slide show, that I'm already married, so that option was gone, okay? So the only option left for me was getting an O1 visa in extraordinary category. And O1 visa is very, very tough to get. Only 1% of people who apply for this, they get it. For example, one of the criteria is you need to have a Nobel Prize winner. Okay, but definitely Nobel Prize ke to main aaspaas bhi nahi tha. But I still tried for it. There are many other ways, many other things, like you can write journals, research papers, you can be a board member in international journals. And I started working for it. Again, people said like it's a huge expense. Just to apply for O1 visa, it cost you about 10 lakh rupees. But I took that chance. And finally, after a few months in June, I was able to get my O1 visa, leave my job, and I was able to start my company called High Counselor. Okay, so we have started it in both US, which is highcounselor.com, and for Indian market, which is highcounselor.in. Next slide, please. So with this, entrepreneurial journey, I come to my learning number 5, which is don't blindly follow others. It's okay to be different. If I had heard to all those people who said don't leave your job or don't wait or put efforts for O1 visa, I would have been working like many other people. I'm not saying that I'm definitely going to be successful or my company is going to rock, right? But at least you need to take chances. If you think that there is a different path, which is not very usual, which is quite unusual, take chances to try it at least. And the same thing applies for your job search. If all your classmates are going to TCS, Wipro or Infosys, right, which makes you work for 15 hours a day by paying 20,000 rupees a month, and if you say that I want to go to Google and Facebook and let me try reach out to people, let me try study these 5 more subjects, let me try some unusual method, maybe by putting a letter on someone's car windshield, right? Just try it, okay? And trust me, if you make a really good effort for a long period of time, you won't regret it. You won't regret it, okay? Next slide, please. So I started company High Counselor, where we connect job seekers with the company insiders. So suppose if you want to connect with someone at Google, so that's how we created this platform. And when I started it, a lot of people, my idea was to start with world's top-notch companies. I did not want to start with small companies to work with. I'm not saying small companies are not good, but if you convince one big organization, all small people will follow you. All small companies, small and mid-sized companies, they'll follow you. So people again said, no, it's not the right idea. Like, why would IEEE? Have you heard about IEEE? Yes, no? No, you should know about IEEE. Okay, if you're a computer science student. So there is these organizations, IEEE, Association of Mechanical Engineers. These are worldwide global associations with over 1 million members in their database. Okay, so we reached out to these people, we convinced them. It took us 6 months to convince them, but finally these companies have partnered with us, and now we work with them directly. And all small and mid-sized companies, they reach out to us saying that, hey, we want to partner with you because IEEE is working with you, because ASME is working with you. Next slide, please. Another bold step that we took was we said, okay, we are going to invite people who are working at Google, Facebook, and we'll conduct live webinars with them so that students can really see and feel how it feels to work over there, or what it needs to get a job over there. And initially, a lot of people said no from top companies. They said, like, you're a very new company, we don't want to trust you, or whatever, this and that. But we continued our effort of networking there also. And ultimately, we have conducted about 6 last few months, and our webinar speakers come from Google, Salesforce, Schlumberger, Oracle, these top companies. The lady here, she's a senior director in Salesforce. You know about Salesforce? Yes, few people. Okay, very, very big company. Google, definitely. Anis, she's a program manager over there. So we have conducted these type of webinars, and now students from top universities like Harvard, Stanford, UC Berkeley, we also talk to IIT Delhi people. So they attend these webinars, they get to listen and learn from these people. Because when you see and when you hear that, oh, someone is earning 2 crore rupees per annum, then you start working in that direction. If you cannot see the future, you won't start working for it. Okay, next slide, please. So the objective of last 2 slides, my learning from last 2 slides was aim for moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among stars. We targeted some of the companies that were even bigger than IEEE, that was even bigger than ASME. They said no, but we targeted such a high association level that we landed with some of the very good organizations. And the same thing applies to your job search. If you keep your targeted to be some ABC company based out of Jagatpura or maybe some NCR region, and if you don't target to get a job in Google, Facebook, Uber, Amazon, you're never going to get it. Okay, so target those companies. You may not get Google for sure, maybe, but you'll land at maybe Oracle, or maybe you'll land at IBM, or maybe you'll land at Deloitte, PwC. Okay, so your goals for job search should be very, very high. Suppose you target Google, okay, and you network with 5 people at Google and 5 people at Facebook. Someone who's working at Google, if that guy drops an email to a mid-sized company or maybe it's someone at Oracle, Oracle would blindly hire you because the word is coming from Google. If I drop an email to, say, a mid-sized software engineering company, okay, they would definitely consider you as a candidate because I have worked at Google and Deloitte. They would consider my words. So always target very, very high-level companies. You land either at those companies or a companies a little bit below their level. But do not set small companies as your goal unless and until you just want to stay in this area. If that is your goal, that is absolutely fine too. I'm just talking when you have really high ambitions and you want to go high, okay? Next slide, please. Finally, it's been almost an hour that I've been boring you, so let's try to wrap this up. So my learning number 7 in the last 7 years was that dreams do come true. If you put a really, really good hard work, it really comes true. I was a very average student with very average GPA, as you already saw like rank number 46. Not super technologically sound, not very, very social. Still, I took very small steps and it helped me get Owen visa and it helped me start a company in Silicon Valley, which I dreamt of 7 or 10 years ago. So don't think about the final goal, just have that vision in mind, think about today and take that effort for today. Just do your work for today. I want to reach out to 5 people. I'm not going to think about whether these 5 people are going to help me or not. Just start small and after a few years you'll realize that you have achieved either 80 or 90% of what you thought. I won't say that I've achieved everything, but at least my company is there. Now I can take it to the next level in a few days. And if I can do it, everyone sitting here in this room can do this. Okay? Next slide, please. So that's all about today. And it was not a very, very long session. But I hope you have got a little bit idea about how you can do the job search, how you can aim for the top-notch companies in the world, and you won't be relying just on on-campus placement. You can definitely bug your placement professors, but you will be able to do your job search by yourself. Thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. So any question, don't be shy. You can ask. No question is stupid.